Hi, I'm Catherine O'Brien, a marriage and family therapist with happywithbaby.com, and today I have Lorri Ann Code here with me from Mama Boot Camp. As we're talking, since May is Maternal Mental Health Awareness Month, it's my hope to raise the awareness about these issues and to let moms and their families know that they're not alone. And I know you work with a lot of moms here in the Sacramento and surrounding areas.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about you and your passion for helping moms?
I'm very, very passionate about helping women because I think that there hasn't been a lot of resources for women, and people are really, doctors especially, are really quick and easy to slap a pill in somebody's hands instead of giving them tools to, really help them. So my passion was born out of a very chaotic childhood, which I think a lot of people who are passionate about what they do, it doesn't always come from good stuff necessarily.
Right.
And so I own Mama Boot Camp. I've been in business with this corporation since 2007, spring of 2007. I've been in the health and fitness industry for over 30 years. Started as a personal trainer and a group X instructor. And now we're franchising. I just wrote a book called Find Your Mojo, and it's a guide to transformation, inspiration, and fitness. And still love coaching, love hands-on coaching. So yeah.
Well, and I know exercise is really effective for overall mood.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And so in the work that I do, I often encourage moms, to get out and get some exercise, even just like walking, getting the fresh air and everything. But sometimes the thing that I'll hear back is it's hard to get going and get moving. Like, how do you encourage moms to get moving, especially when you're in a place where things are really hard and you're feeling depressed, or you're anxious about everything, or you have this tiny little baby and it's hard to get out? Like, what do you say, or how do you support them?
I really love for them to, what is their goal, to remind them, what's your goal, what do you really want for yourself? And when you're in a dark place, it's hard sometimes to see that. So to seek out the buddy system is phenomenal. So to link arms with other women that might be in your neighborhood, or maybe people you work with. And studies show walking's actually phenomenal for changing your mindset. There's actually studies that have been done with just 20 minutes a day can actually release enough endorphins to really elevate your moods, even over those that are giving pharmaceuticals, which I love that, because sometimes when they're given pharmaceuticals because they're in a low spot, those also have their own side effects. And so to give people, not that people sometimes don't need them, there are people, I'm not saying that, but why don't we first try this and see how this works for you, and then consistency over time just is really important. So camaraderie, the buddy system, setting a time, and then not wrestling with yourself for 5. You're, by the time that you've been wrestling with yourself for an hour, like I've got to go do this, you could have had it done already. And so I do always remind them of that, because it's kind of, I think every woman can relate to that. Okay, I'm going to go walk at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. I'm going to go for a walk, and then you start wrestling with yourself, and then you're all upset, and and then it's 10 o'clock, and then it's 10:30, and they go, oh, I'll start tomorrow. And so the goal is 9 o'clock, make a promise to me. I'm as your coach, that's what I say. Make a promise to me as your coach that you're going to go. Have some accountability, and text me when you're done. And then honor the time. So if you say 9, get your prep. So at 8:30, you're prepping to get yourself out the door. And then pretty soon it's like, do we wrestle with ourselves about brushing our teeth?
Oh yeah.
Do we do
all
that?
the little things?
Self-care stuff. Body is just as, and body and brain and endorphins are a beautiful thing. Body and brain need just as much attention as your teeth. So
yeah, and I know I've had several moms that say, it's like, once I got going, like I was just gonna go for a walk, but I got home and I felt good, so I picked up the little weights I had and started doing. So I know it can just lead to other things and feeling better and stuff. So
that gets me excited.
Yeah,
it does. It gets me excited if I get 5 texts in a row. It's like, and they could be texting you, or texting a buddy, or texting their husband or their partner. I mean, I just think it's really important for women to have a community.
I do this weekly mama interviews where I have different moms that fill out questions, and one of the questions I ask them is, what do you do when you feel overwhelmed, overstretched, or less than. And so I'm just curious from you, who's really successful and you've come a long way in your business and stuff, like, what do you, I'm sure there's still times where you have those moments.
Oh, absolutely. Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what really helps me, honestly, as a movement. I moved when my mom passed away from lung, liver, and kidney cancer, and I was really overwhelmed. One of the first things I did was I went for a swim. It washed the stress off of me, so I could start to process my feelings and my grief. And I really do feel that for me, movement is key to my life, and that's why I'm in the field I'm in. So I'll either go for a walk, or I'll go for a run. If I'm angry, you know, running is really helpful. Running hills is especially helpful if you're really upset. And I also do have a circle of women that I also trust, and it's really nice to be able to get it out of you. That's what I would say, like, to talk about it with somebody that you trust and get all those emotions that you're afraid to share with somebody else. You know, it's really important to have, even if you just have one person you can talk to, it can be very powerful. So movement and get it out of your body by talking about it.
Yeah. Where do you find, like, the women and people that you trust and building a community? Because I know that's also really important in just dealing with feelings and the overwhelm of parenthood and stuff, is having a good tribe or community. How do you do that?
You know, I unfortunately have learned the hard way, because sometimes, you know, you look at somebody and think, oh gosh, it's somebody I can really trust, and then you invest in them, and then you find out that that really wasn't the right person to trust, and it's hurtful. I mean, there's no other way around it. So now when I always say that, and I have faith, so this is what I say. Sometimes God first goes, I don't think that you could trust her. I think that maybe there's a little I think that there's something going on here, little red flag. Maybe it's best to not say your true inner feelings at this point. And then you keep moving forward. Okay? So then God says, okay, I asked you, and is shaking you, and then pretty soon you're getting slapped in the face, and then you go, that's why you told me not that. Well, that's why I had that inner intuition. I do really feel that women have an inner intuition. I think a lot of times we shut it down. I think a lot of times we don't trust ourselves. I think we always know more than we think we do, and to start trusting that inner feeling. So, for example, if something looks like a snake, the old me would go over there and start poking it with a stick, just to make sure it was a snake. And then it would bite me. Okay. So now I go, you know what? That looks like a snake. I think I'm going to go over here. That really, I mean, and that has served me well the last 5 years, and it's taken me, you know, a long time to learn those lessons. But so finding my tribe, a lot of them are women I spend time with. You know, people I run with, people who are who work for me, actually, are some of my closest friends.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, and I know you're a mom. How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
3. So what is one of the greatest lessons you've learned being a mom?
Oh my gosh. I love my kids so much. I have 2 boys and a girl, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for having a relationship with them. I'm grateful that I can listen to them with an open mind, because we're all so different, and I have to remember I learned my lessons to not say, please don't do that. And I was one of the moms that was a helicopter mom.
Oh, okay.
I totally was. The kindergarten, Mrs. Maris, my first son's kindergarten teacher, told me to stop tying his shoes, because he'll never learn how to tie his own shoes. And he was 5.5. And so she said, you need to back off and let him grow. He you know, and tie his own shoes. So I've taken that lesson and I've applied it to other things. I can't, sometimes my kids are going to go through things that are going to hurt them, and I just need to be there to, with an open mind, no judgment, and always be their safe place for them to talk. Super important.
No, that's wonderful. Do you have like a favorite quote or anything that inspires you as a mom?
You know, she thought she could, so she did, has always been really important to me, because you know, as a mom, you're pulled in so many different directions, and you're always torn. You always
right.
turn, I should be, you know,
Yes.
doing this, I should be doing that, and all
Yes.
those shoulds.
Yes, yes.
And then what I have found, because I was a single parent for a long time, and on pretty much on my own. Their dad lives in Texas, and and so what I have found is that it's really important for you to set an example of what it feels like and what it looks like to live a life that you're passionate about. Because if you stop doing things for yourself because you feel like you're not giving enough to your children, and I have rarely seen a woman who does not give enough to her children.
Right.
You know, I've rarely seen that.
Right.
I actually have seen the opposite, which is why I love working with moms, because I like to be their advocate.
Right.
Everybody's taken care of except the mom, and the mom can be down on the floor in a hot mess on a 5 p.m. on a Monday going, what, oh my, you know, having a meltdown. Everybody's, what's wrong with mom? We're all happy. And so I think that it's really super important that she also has her own passions and shows them, you know, that I'm a person too. You know, I'm not just your maid, your driver, your cook, you know, all of those things. I think it's important for them to realize that, because if they don't take care of themselves and have some dreams and goals of their own, how are they teaching that to their children, and even their daughters especially? Right.
Yeah, and I always say, like, then you can model for them how to take care of themselves, so they don't get to this place. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it is there one piece of advice you like to give other moms?
To stop putting yourself last on your list. Please.
Yes.
Please stop putting yourself last. You again, going back to modeling that for your children, you're teaching your boys to put their wives last on the list. You're teaching your daughter that she's supposed to be, there's a unspoken value that's taught to your family when you put yourself last on your list. I think it's doing your children a disservice, because then you're raising people who don't respect the woman in the household. And a lot of times the woman is the hub. She makes everything happen. She makes all the appointments. She's, you know, she knows what's going on with everybody, and it's really important that she does not put herself last on her own list.
Right. Okay, so one more question. If there is one thing that you wish a woman who thinks they have or know they have a postpartum mood or anxiety disorder, what is it that you would tell them?
They need to reach out and talk to somebody about it, and not not necessarily their doctor, because a lot of times it's really good to have a good therapist. It's really good to have a good support group or a tribe who can direct you to the right person, because I've just seen too many women who they just get slapped a pill, and then you don't get to work through whatever's going on with you. And like I said, some people do need medication, but a lot of times, I can't tell you how many women I've worked with who said, I went to my doctor, I told him I was feeling like this, and the first thing he wanted to do was give me a prescription. And she said, and I didn't want that for myself. I wanted help. You know,
like some tools, and like, what do you do?
What do I do? How about get moving? You know, there's actually a study done on this, where they did a blind study where they were given a sugar pill. They did a study on a group of women who were depressed. One group got a sugar pill, one group got prescription medication, one group was put on a walking program, like we were talking about, for 20 minutes a day. The group that had the most perceived well-being at the end of the 30-day study and most improvement was the group that was walking. And I just always remind women of that. So
so it's like everything, like you need the whole package to get better.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're
Thank you for the amazing things you're doing for the women in our community. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.